Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some of the best striker Wonderkids we found in FM24. So far at least. So let's just dive right in. Now, clearly this is an area with a ton of names out there, and you'll see a ton of names coming from here on out until FM25 comes out. And most likely, these people will not be cheap. You've most likely seen their names before as we covered them last season, a lot of them last season, at least in FM23. But here's our top 10 Wonderkid strikers to start looking for right off the bat. Starting out, definitely one that we've covered before in FM23, but Evan Ferguson, sitting as a striker in Brighton, is rated at a high amount, but his stats look fantastic, especially for a Brighton 18-year-old, where his ceiling is pretty massive. So, I mean, finishing of 15, first touch of 13 is a fantastic place to start. Even heading of 14, he's looking pretty nice. Next up, we've got Rasmus Hojlund. I mean, clearly everyone who played FM23 has heard of his name. He was a massive boost for pretty much any team that picked him up. Manchester United got hold of him over the summer, and sadly, he's out of 6 matches so far as we play right now. He hasn't gotten many games in the Premier League. UEFA Champions League, a little bit better, but still. Not quite living up to the potential that you'd hope for from such a Wonderkid that we've seen do so well in FM23. However, his stats-wise look fantastic. Again, 14 finishing, 14 first touch, 14 off the ball and teamwork, 17 work rate is absolutely amazing. He's going to go far, but more expensive than Ferguson. But it is to be expected. He just signed a new contract, so we'll see what he's like in another year or two. Now, the name that everybody has been looking at this time around in FM24, Lamine Yamal, the winger from Barcelona, 15 years old and absolutely looking fantastic. This one is actually not that expensive to pick up at the early stages. Not for cheaper teams, but his stats look pretty nice with dribbling and first touch of 15s. He definitely has some growing to do with passing of 13. Work rate of 9 is not really the greatest. However, he is probably one of the biggest stars in name, at least, to come out of Barcelona. And if you can pick him up, you can actually pick him up for somewhat cheap. He could probably do wonders in your squad, no matter what. Coming in at number 4 is Yamal Tel. Yes, we have seen his name before. Wonderkid out of Bayern. Again, great stats, 14 dribbling, 13 finishing and first touch. He's looking pretty nice. Work rate, flair, he's got a lot of things going for him. He is definitely going to be one to look at for quite a long time. He's only 18 years old. We'll see what happens when he gets into the French national team, but his future looks pretty bright as well. Next up, we have another Frenchman, 20-year-old Wahi. Contracted to RC Lens right now. He is worth a pretty penny, unfortunately, so it is going to be expensive to pry him away from Lens. However, he just moved there, so you're not going to get him the first half of the season anyway. But look at his weekly wages. Very nice and low, so hopefully they don't climb too much when you actually are able to pry him away from France. But looking at his stats, dribbling of 14, finishing of 16, first touch of 13, he's looking fantastic already. Work rate of 13 is not too bad, but pace and stamina of 15 and 16, strength of 14, he's just suited perfectly for that upfront position. A season or so ago, Ansu Fati would be nowhere near the Premier League. He would be leading the line of Barcelona, but unfortunately, circumstances have found him kind of falling down a bit at the club. So obviously, he is on loan at Brighton right now, but still looking absolutely amazing. 16 dribbling, 15s in finishing and first touch, 16 technique. His work rate is a little low. His leadership is down there, but he's only 20 years old. A lot of places that he can definitely grow. Corners of 7, not the greatest, however. Again, I mean, he's got a lot in the green, acceleration and pace for days. It'd be nice if he grew in the strength a little, but he is making 160K per week. So it'll be very interesting to see how he grows in the next couple of years. We covered Vitor Roque on FM23. And again, looking really nice. Dribbling, first touch, finishing, 14s and 13s. All around, he's where you want him as a striker. He's got some fantastic numbers. Strength of 13, acceleration and pace to boot. He is sitting right now with ATP with Club Atletico Paranaense. However, he is joining Barcelona in the next year. So you're not going to be getting him anytime soon, but 11.75. I wonder what his wages are going to be when he hits Barcelona. However, if you're playing with Barcelona, this is one to take a look at and definitely one to watch. Otherwise, definitely want to scout, see how he ends up at Barcelona. We know we've seen Ansu Fati already. We've seen other Wonderkids that go to Barcelona and play for somewhere else. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. Now, Benjamin Sesko is one that I've seen for at least a year or two. I tried to pick him up in a previous save in FM23. He didn't look all that great, though. He might have had a negative potential ability when he started out the save, which means he could be within a range as a fixed potential when you start your save. He could be here this as well. However, in my save, it just didn't work out. But here, I mean, overall, he's looking like an absolute beast that's only 20 years old. So much room to grow. 13s in dribbling, finishing, first touch as a striker. That's fantastic. Strength of 14. Acceleration and pace for days is again. He's got a couple numbers you'd like him to grow in, but overall, as a striker, he's looking pretty nice. In FM23, Yusufa Moukoko grew insanely well. Had so many stats in the green, it wasn't even funny. Starting out as an 18-year-old in FM24, he still looks pretty nice. He does have a few stats that are a little low for me. However, he, again, 18 years old, has plenty of room to grow, and some of his stats are absolutely amazing. Will definitely make his way into any European squad in the front, no matter what. He's only a squad player, though, for Dortmund, so hopefully you can pry him away from Germany, but it's going to be tough. And finally, on our striker wonderkid list, we have someone who is the most highly touted striker wonderkid I have ever seen in my life. Endrick in the FM23 saves, everyone was touting how absolutely amazing he is and how amazing he turned out to be. Unfortunately, it seems in real life he has been knocked down a peg or two, still highly touted, still definitely in wonderkid status, still has some very nice stats, but doesn't look nearly as good as he did previously. But at 16 years old, come on, you've got still so many years left. You've got, 14 dribbling, 13 first touch and finishing. He is not the highest one that we've covered right now in our list today, but he is still going to turn out absolutely amazing. I have no doubt. And he is joining Real Madrid in the next year or so. Not worth all that much right now, but we will have to see what happens when he hits Madrid and how his first season goes. That's when we can really take a look at him. But definitely want to keep in your scouting books. Definitely want to keep an eye on. No question about it. Now, those are just 10 of the many names we could have come up with in FM24 of the top 10 Wonderkid strikers that we have seen so far. But please, as always, leave us comments down below on who you think we've left off this list, who deserves their place in this list, and who you think is first in your squad. We definitely need many more players in our scouting book. So that is it for me, Sefian FM for the Football Manager blog channel, and the top 10 Wonderkid strikers in FM24. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and enjoy.